Colorado Rural Water as a family, they welcome you in, they teach you the ins and outs, working with the best instructors in the world. We've been providing technical assistance since 1980. We care about the communities that we work in. We are positioned all over the state of Colorado, so we have a lot of heart in a lot of different communities.
When we were looking at how do we be contributors in this industry towards this problem of our aging infrastructure across the state.
So I thought this is a great opportunity for me to get into some rural communities and introduce some opportunities to people that were like me growing up. And I'll be honest, the only solution is to eat this elephant one bite at a time.
But as engineering companies, where do we cross over with CRWA's technical support? Because I'm sure there's a point at which the circuit riders go, we've helped with technical assistance.
The circuit rider position is definitely designed to help you get financing. The State Revolving Fund Environmental Finance Center Region 8 position is designed for you to get access to state revolving funds for infrastructure.
CRWA is doing a lot of great stuff, so we got the privilege to interview Rick Autobee, the grants manager at the CRWA conference. He went through all sorts of really great stuff that they're doing. What's the Circuit Rider program, how they're helping with SRF loan applications for engineers and communities, what they're doing at schools for drinking water testing, and much, much more. Tune in to enjoy the show.
Nate Yang here with the Engineers for Communities podcast. Today, I'm at the CRWA conference with Mr. Rick Autobee. You are the grants manager.
I am, yes.
And what resources are available?
Absolutely. So at Colorado Rural Water, we provide a multitude of services. We like to call it a full circle of services. So as you mentioned, it started with our Circuit Rider program. We've been providing technical assistance since 1980. So with our Circuit Rider program, it's one of our longest programs that we've had. What they do is they go and they provide technical assistance to rural communities. It could be in reference to getting your operator certified or getting your system back into compliance. In addition to, we have a multitude of other programs with the EPA and the USDA.
These circuit riders, they're like struck me as everyday heroes. Like they go out there and jack of all trades type of.
And actually, that's a term we use. The unsung heroes of your community is the term we use. A lot of it is certified operators that have been in the industry for a long time. And what they do is they go and they share their knowledge of their system and their knowledge of what they've learned over the course of a lot of years. A big issue that we see in systems right now is qualified people are not available to run the system. So when we go in, what we like to do is help them with their certification process and help them be qualified to run their own system.
Teach men to fish.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, there's a big push for contract operators because there is so little certified operators out there. So what we want to do and what we strive to do is help systems get independent of contract operators and build their operators in-house and have a well-rounded operator that they can utilize and sustain their system for a long time to come.
Wow. And the technical assistance they provide. So the operational system, one thing, right? If you can't operate the system, like that there's nothing you can do. The technical side won't help because there's no one to operate it. Now on the technical side, you're the grants manager.
Yes.
There's a lot of technical work that has to go into applying for a grant and filling out the paperwork and whatnot. How does that look? Circuit riders,
What's really nice about the Circuit Rider program is we are a sub-award grantee of the Circuit Rider program. The National Rural Water Association actually is the primary grant winner of the Circuit Rider program through USDA. It's actually the Farm Bill through USDA. So that's how the Circuit Rider program is actually managed.
You were telling me about the other programs.
So we have a multitude of other programs. We work with the state of Colorado, and we also work with the EPA. Currently, some of the exciting things with the EPA, we're working with decentralized systems, tribal communities, and we're providing technical assistance to all underserved communities. In addition to, we have a state program that's called Test and Fix Water for Kids. So what we do is we have the opportunity to go into daycare facilities, elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools, and help them identify potential drinking water sources of lead contaminant.
Yeah, super important for protecting.
Yes, definitely. At Colorado Rural Water, it's more a mission of passion. Our mission is to provide this technical assistance, but also we care about the communities that we work in. We are positioned all over the state of Colorado, so we have a lot of heart in a lot of different communities. So with that, when you see a Colorado rural water vehicle show up, just know we're here to provide technical and help you in any way we can.
Now, this is my first rural water conference, and we're really excited to be here because when we were looking at how do we be contributors in this industry towards this problem of our aging infrastructure across the state, you can't go 2 steps down that path without CRWA showing up.
Right.
And I'm so curious, how did you get started with CRWA? What's your story? A little bit about that. Because you're a passionate person.
Absolutely.
And when I think about what CRWA is and your passion, I can't help but think you're here because you want to make an impact.
100%. I actually come from the oil industry. I was a process operator in an oil refinery. I worked in the wastewater side of the oil refinery. And then after that, I commenced to becoming a manager and working my way up into the manager scale.
Still in the oil industry.
In the oil and gas industry. So the apprenticeship program came up, and in the community I came from, there wasn't a lot of opportunity out of high school, as I explained. So I thought this is a great opportunity for me to get into some rural communities and introduce some opportunities to people that were like me growing up. And for me, that was just over the top. I wasn't thinking about how much money can I make. Obviously coming from the oil industry, you're used to a certain type of rate. What I wanted to do is I wanted to feel better about my community. I wanted to give back. I'm a coach by nature. So my daughters play softball. I have one in New York playing ball right now. So I figured, I have a skill set as far as motivating people, getting people introduced to new industries. And I thought this would be a great place. And Colorado Rural Water, as a family, they welcome you in, they teach you the ins and outs, working with the best instructors in the world and managing an apprenticeship. It made my heart overfill. Through some time, we brought the apprenticeship program up, and I was recognized for that. So I was asked to be the grant manager. So now I inherited, I think, right now we're up to 14 grants that I manage deliverables for.
The USDA one being one, that's the circuit riders. And then the apprenticeship program is another grant?
The apprenticeship program is actually a USDA funded grant as well, but it's another sub-award that we receive. So our programs now we have a circuit rider program. We have EPA water, EPA wastewater. We also have USDA wastewater. And then we have a program from the state of Colorado called Test and Fix Water for Kids, which I mentioned before. In addition to working with the decentralized systems, the tribal systems, and keeping underserved communities up.
So managing these grants, what does that mean?
So when you get a grant from the USDA, EPA, or the state, there are deliverables attached to the grant. It could be 300 hours of on-site technical assistance required.
Showing the proof is like we worked with this many operators for this many hours, these many communities, measuring the impact.
When we get to your location, we GPS that location and actually log that location to show the service that we're providing to you. And the data is given to our national organization and shared with the EPA, the state, and USDA. My function as the grant manager is to ensure all grants are in compliance and all deliverables are on time.
So you might be one of the best people to ask this question to that. What's the biggest problem facing Colorado Rural Water right now as an organization that you're seeing? Like, what is your perception of what's out there in our communities? Infrastructure, of course, being the theme of this conference.
Absolutely. And actually, on the radar right now is being able to identify your assets. As you can imagine, there's pipe running under the ground everywhere. Some of the pipe's dead, some of the pipe's live. We have to be able to identify if that pipe is a lead
pipe. Some of the pipe's lead,
right? And different methods to identify this. And through the conference, as you can see, with new technologies, what we like to do is we like to bring in new technologies and introduce it to systems that might need to identify their assets, asset management, and being able to locate your assets and understand the life cycle of your assets. Right now, you have a lot of systems that are older, and you have new blood coming into these systems. Well, as you can imagine, as these older systems are phasing away, the people that started these systems are phasing away as well.
Yeah.
So we have a whole new group of people coming in that need to be trained and brought up to speed.
You being one of those people who jumped into the industry and said, let's saddle up and make some.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. In addition to, you know, we all have young children. We have vulnerable family members. You know, it could be your grandma, your grandfather, somebody, your uncle. For instance, lead in water. It's going to take the most vulnerable person first and make them sick. So that's kind of where we identify that specific genre of how we help there.
It's a big responsibility.
It's huge,
but it seems like the team at CRWA is equipped to bring people together. And you know, on this podcast, our goal is to say, what's the solution? If we don't know, let's keep asking till we have a way of sharing that and bringing together resources, you know.
And I'll be honest, the only solution is to eat this elephant one bite at a time. If you look at it from an overall scope, from a big perspective, it is a lot. It's a lot to absorb.
Yeah.
But if you can identify one job and finish that job, start to finish on a full cycle, you can move on to your next job. I think you see a lot with turnover and a lot with wishy ideas of this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you end up with some turnover. Maybe the manager walked away. And this is very typical of small communities.
Yes.
So then it's left for the next person to step up and pick that up. So it becomes kind of a revolving door of, okay, we've met our goals, but now the regime has changed and we need to start over. So we need to get all of these
and
all of this
data
and all of this
a way to tie together.
Absolutely.
When one manager leaves and the next one takes off, that institutional knowledge that's missing.
100%. In addition to, in order to qualify for state revolving funds and different types of loans through the state or through the federal government, the first thing they're going to ask you is, where are your assets?
Yeah, big one. So you're seeing the asset management programs as the ante for getting into applying for grants on a system by system scale.
Right.
And so while in one hand you're managing the grants for the CRWA, those grants in a way are meant to empower communities to go be able to seek their own funding
100%
and stand on their own too.
And you're nail on the head with what CRWA does. What we do is we provide you the avenues and the technical assistance to accomplish your goals. It is your mission as that system to accomplish that goal. But it's built into our program to go teach, provide technical assistance, then come back and ensure you've applied the technical assistance that we've taught.
Absolutely. Now, I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
We're engineers. As engineering companies, where do we cross over with CRWA's technical support? Because I'm sure there's a point at which the circuit riders go, we've helped with technical assistance. We've pointed you to the right direction. Where does that handoff happen with an engineering firm? Say, you know, when the $10,000 planning grant comes in for a disenchanted community, like where does that crossover come in with us or other engineering firms out there? At what point would we want to say, you've already worked with circuit riders and the CRWA, now we're ready to help? Or, you know, because we wouldn't want to have to double up on those services if they're provided for free.
Absolutely. And a great opportunity. We have what is called the SRF Region 8 EFC representative that works directly for CRWA. So if you would like, you know, he is responsible in the SRF program to actually coordinate with engineering firms.
So he's the handoff guy to say, this might be a good match. Why don't you guys talk?
And you all would coordinate together and put a plan together for whatever asset or whatever infrastructure that needs to be improved with your engineering scope.
I'm sure all the technical assistance that the circuit rider has conglomerated, you wouldn't want that to drop off in the same way the institutional knowledge drops off.
Sure.
You know, or, you know, it's because they've done that work. So it made sense that there had to be a missing piece here. I didn't understand that.
Right. And one thing I want to make clear is the circuit rider position is definitely designed to help you get financing. The State Revolving Fund Environmental Finance Center Region 8 position is designed for you to get access to state revolving funds for infrastructure replacement and fixes. So what we do is we help you go in, fill out your paperwork, engineering designs. We coordinate with engineers for engineering designs, and then we present that so that way they can apply for the type of money they need for their infrastructure.
Man, Awesome. Is there anything I missed and that you'd like to share with?
You know what I would say, and you asked me about problems in the industry, and one thing that we see, and we've talked about this, the institutional knowledge of the boomer generation. Right now, we're really seeing the boomer generation start to phase away from water and wastewater. Although when water is in your veins, you never really leave.
I've talked to some of these dogs out here. They eat, sleep, and breathe it. But yeah,
the panic right now is we have a new workforce coming in. And let's be honest, you know, a new generation of worker coming in right now, and you have the boomer generation who is kind of built a little different. So what we're trying to do is commingle the two generations, get that institutional knowledge into the new generation of new blood employees. But the idea right now is to create a well-rounded employee.
Yeah.
It used to be okay just to be an operator, but now these operators are running the snow blowers, the street sweepers. They're setting up for community events and things like that. So overall, you want a well-rounded employee that not only can manage water, but can handle some city duties as well.
Yeah. Right on. Well, there's some exciting topics that we look forward to sharing with our audience here. Rick, thank you so much.
Thank you for the time.
Have a great conference.